Hey, how's it going? Kenny here, and welcome back to Non-League the Giants and the final game of the season. We're in the FA Cup final against Nottingham Forest. You're probably wondering why I haven't brought you back earlier. I did say I'll bring you back for the Champions League quarter-final, but I didn't bring you back for the Champions League quarter-final because we didn't get there. We got knocked out in the round of 16, which was pretty embarrassing, and that is not all. We also ended up finishing in the league in 5th place. Wow, it has been a shocking season for us. Absolutely terrible. We actually finished 5th place in the final game of the season, by the way. We faced Sheffield United at home on the final day of the season, and we lost that game 1-0. So we've been demoted to 5th place in the league, which on the face of it right now, it looks disastrous because at the moment we're qualifying for the Europa League, but I'm 99.9% sure that we will qualify for next season's Champions League due to the coefficient. So pretty much we've been bailed out by the other English teams doing so well in the Champions League. We had 4 teams in the Champions League semi-finals. England was already leading the coefficients table there. So as it's happened in the last at least 5 seasons, the team who finished 5th place will qualify for next season's Champions League. So it's not as disastrous as it first seems. But to be honest, to finish 5th in the league with 78 points in a season where we finished 1st in the league is I am ashamed. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to lie to you. I am ashamed. It's been a terrible season. Not just that though. The Champions League. Look at the state of that. Knocked out in the round of 16 by FC Porto. I didn't know what I was seeing when I saw us knocked out the Porto. To be honest, absolutely embarrassing. But there is some sort of silver lining though, because obviously we could end the season with an FA Cup trophy along with our UEFA Super Cup as well. Does that count as a double? Probably not. But if we do beat Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup, I'm not going to take anything for granted, by the way. We're not guaranteed winners of this competition, that is for sure. If we do win the FA Cup, though, that'll be another one ticked off. And there's just one more to tick off now before the end of the series. And one more season to do it, and that is the league title. And if we finish off the league title next season, then we would have won every single trophy we could have won, to be honest, apart from the Club World Championship, which I have no idea when it's taking place, by the way. When is the Club World Championship? We qualified for that 2 seasons ago, I think. Well, I don't know when we're going to compete in it, to be honest. I thought it was every single season as it was there, but apparently now it's every 4 seasons, which is just ridiculous. Monday, 18th of May 2037, due to start on the 15th of June 2037. So that actually might be the last of the games we play here in non-league to Giants. Do I bother going forward to the Club World Championship at the end of the series? Probably. It's rude not to, really, isn't it? It'll be another trophy we can win. I'm pretty sure we're going to take place in the next Club World Championship. Of course we are. Why is it every 4 years, though? No one knows. Anyway, let's get to what's happened in the season then, because I played lots of games. I told you I'd bring you back for the Champions League quarter-final. We never got there. I decided I was going to bring you back for the first knockout round as well, but I decided, you know what, let's leave that, because that's not important. Against Porto, we're guaranteed to win that. And obviously we didn't. And I'm glad I didn't bring you back for those 3 games I was going to, because I was absolutely fuming. It was terrible. So, in the last episode, it was disastrous. We went into that episode on a really good run of form. 3 games in hand over the teams at the top. And if we won those 3 games in hand, we would go top of the league. But we lost away to Chelsea 3-0. And then we lost at home to Liverpool 3-1, which was a disastrous episode. After that, though, defensively, we became very stable, keeping 5 clean sheets in a row. Beat Brighton at home 7-0, which was very nice. Drew away to Leicester 0-0, which was very costly, it has to be said. Absolutely dominated Leicester in this game. Should have won 3 or 4-0, but dropped points there. And after that period, the real thing that's cost us this season is, because going forward we've been really good. We've got over 90 goals in the season, 92 goals I believe it is, so that is all good. Nothing wrong going forward. Our best goal scoring form of the season. The big problem we've had is against any team that has anything about them away from home in the season. We've lost pretty much every single time. Starting with QPR away from home, lost that game 2-1. They're a good team, QPR, and we always struggle against them. We took the lead in this game as well, ended up losing it 2-1. After that, though, we had a good win against Man City, beat them 3-2 at home, which was very nice. We had a couple more wins in a row as well. Beat Aston Villa away 1-0, which was a nice win. And we ended off the Champions League phase, beating Ajax away 5-0. And Lech Poznan away 6-2 as well. In the league phase, we were ridiculous, by the way. We lost 1 game. That was our first game, though, away to PSG. We also faced Real Madrid away in the next game. We beat them 4-0. And look at that, in the league phase. Man United, the only team who finished above us with 8 wins. But we scored 39 goals. And only conceded 5 in 8 appearances. So to get knocked out to Porto in the round of 16 was a real big shock, it has to be said. We are the Champions League holders, should have got through them very comfortably, but we didn't, unfortunately. Again, away from home, really struggling. Lost away to Wolves 2-1, which was shocking. Again, we led the game 1-0, so those two games against QPR and Wolves, really costly. They're good teams, QPR and Wolves, but if we want to really finish the season as champions, then these are the sort of teams that we need to beat away from home and put a little bit of a shock in there now and then. You know, home to Liverpool should be winning that game. Away to one of the big teams, pull off a shock, but didn't do any of that this season. We beat Chelsea at home 3-2, which was nice. A last-minute winner from Coric in that game was losing the game 2-1. We then played Liverpool away, lost that game 3-1 again, like we did at home to them. Raphael with a hat-trick in this game. Played Sheffield United at home in the FA Cup 5th round. Good team, Sheffield United, beat them 4-0. That was nice. And then this is when it was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. I was going to bring you back for these 3 games here, but decided the Porto game wasn't big enough to bring you back for, and boy was I wrong. But I'm glad I didn't because I was absolutely fuming. Played Porto away, lost that game 1-0. Terrible. We were absolutely awful in this game. Awful. We didn't create a single chance in the game there. I think we had 1 shot on target, which is completely out of character. Beat Ajax away 5-0, scored 6 away to Lech Poznan as well. Beat Barcelona at home 5-0, beat Benfica at home 7-0, scored 7 against PSV as well, and scored 4 away to Real Madrid. But then when it came away to Porto, couldn't even create a chance, let alone score a goal. So that was absolutely terrible. In between the Porto games as well, we had a massive game away to Man United, and we got absolutely battered 4-0, which was just disastrous, absolutely disastrous. We beat Porto 2-1 at home in the second leg. Went 1-0 up in the 3rd minute. I thought, you know what, back to normality here. You know, the league title's over with now after losing away to Man United 4-0. I was like, at least we still got the Champions League and the FA Cup. 1-0 up after 3 minutes. I was expecting a lot better, to be honest. I was expecting a very comfortable win. As you can see, we didn't get the second goal. Went to extra time. They led the game in extra time. We got back into it through Magnaghi. It went to a penalty shootout. They missed their first penalty. I got a little bit hopeful at that point. But we missed the second penalty. As soon as that happened, I knew the inevitable was going to happen then. I knew we were going to be knocked out. Always happens like that. And Andy Booth missed his penalty. And we got knocked down penalties for Porto. So effectively, in those 4 days there, we lost the league title. Not saying we was going to win the league title anyway, because it was quite a thrilling battle, it has to be said, between us, Man United, Man City and Liverpool. We tailed off towards the end, but Man City, Liverpool, Man United battled it out all the way to the end. Man City won the trophy in the end, but this pretty much just ruled us out of the competition, to be honest. So yeah, at that point, the Champions League and the league title are over with, so I was pretty fuming at this point. After the pressure is off, we started winning games. Of course we did. Beat Forest at home 4-1 very comfortably. Our opponents in the final here today. Beat Blackburn away 3-1 in the FA Cup quarter-final. Had some other good wins in there as well. Beat Newcastle in the semi-final 3-1. That was a very nice win. We were 1-0 down after 22 minutes. Obviously in Wembley as well, a neutral venue, so wasn't an easy game. And the way the season has gone so far, I was expecting a loss, to be honest, especially when we was 1-0 down. But good rallying around in this game. We came back to win it 3-1. A great second half there, so that was very nice. Had quite favourable ties in the FA Cup, it has to be said, but we still faced Sheffield United, who are, well, they're above us in the league now, aren't they? They finished 4th in the league, so that was a tricky game. Beat them 4-0. And Newcastle in the neutral venue in Wembley was a very tricky game as well. So, although it's been quite a favourable draw for us, we still had to get through 2 very good teams to get to this point. So, hopefully we don't blow it now, and we end the season with silverware at least, to wrap up a terrible season for us, has to be said. After that, we hit 6 past Watford, beat them 6-1 very comfortably. Beat Palace away 5-0 as well. Beat Tottenham at home 3-1. It was a great end to the season, to be honest. Full of confidence at this point. Obviously, the league and Champions League's over with, but it's still nice to finish the season strongly. Played Newcastle away in the penultimate game of the season. Very nice draw this. We were 2-0 down in the game in the first half. We paid them back to 2-2. All we needed was a draw at home to Sheffield United to secure 4th place. And we lost the game 1-0. A goal from Tom Hill in the 5th minute. Mamadou Lopez, by the way, he has been absolutely awful this season in the big games. Overall, he's been quite good, but in the big matches, he's been terrible, which is a complete contrast from last season, because he really turned up in the big matches last season. He was a sensational goalkeeper for us in many games against the big teams, Man City, Liverpool, a couple of other teams in there as well. But against the big teams this season, he has been absolute filth. Absolute filth. Every single game he's been terrible, so he's been very disappointing this season. And yeah, losing that game at home to Sheffield United 1-0 cost us 4th place, but as I said, I'm 99.9% sure we will still qualify for the Champions League. So at least that's something, but To be predicted to finish first at the start of the season, to finish 5th in the end, is really, really devastating. Really, really devastating. We actually look at the league table in full here. 8 defeats. Never going to win your league title, is it? 8 defeats. Never going to win your league title. And look at the teams who lost to. Away to Man United, Liverpool, Wolves, QPR, Chelsea, Sheffield United. Any time we come up against any team with anything away from home, we have lost that game pretty much. You know, the only team that didn't fail to beat us, was Man City. And they won the league title anyway. Lost to Man United away. Lost to Liverpool twice. Lost to Sheffield United twice as well. Lost away to Chelsea. So we have to do better against these big teams if we're going to win the league title. Because these are the fine margins that can cost you big time in the league. You know, imagine how many points we could be on now. We just added 3 more wins to the season. You know, take away some points from the other teams as well. We could be talking about us winning the league title. So that is where we've really been lacking this season. Really, really lacked against the big teams. 90 goals scored is very nice. 39 goals conceded. Could be better, but it's also not terrible with a plus 51 goal difference. That is definitely good enough to win the league title. So is 90 goals. But 8 defeats and 78 points definitely isn't good enough. So we have to be a whole lot better next season. And that is the final season of the series. So I'm hoping we will be. And I'm hoping we end off the series with a league title. And I'm hoping we end off this season with the FA Cup. So let's get started then. Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup final. And in terms of the team sheet, we've got Lopez in goal, Booth right back, Adelson left back, El-Idrissi and Mohamed centre backs. Then we've got Jarvis, Acosta and Gula in midfield, Magnaghi on the right wing, Bruno on the left wing, and Koric up front. So unfortunately, we're missing big player Neo Maka for today's game. He's out with sprained knee ligaments, better to be out for another 2 to 5 weeks. He's been a good player for us this season, Maka, very consistent. Started to play him at DM the last few matches, and he made a difference there, it has to be said. No surprises that we lost to Sheffield United when Maka is out of the team. Well, I'll tell you one player who's really shone this entire season is Koric. He's got 46 goals in total in the season so far with a 7.52 average rating. So he is flying, but ultimately it's been a very, very disappointing season. But hopefully we can still end the season with 2 trophies, the UEFA Super Cup and the FA Cup. Before we get started with this game, guys, please remember that if you do like this video, hit that like button for me. It's very, very important for the video's success. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out and much appreciated. So let's get going then. The FA Cup final against Nottingham Forest. All right, here we go. Can we end the season with a high here? We've beaten Forest twice this season, I believe, home and away. So we come into it with good form against them. But, you know, the way the season, they've gone bad run of form as well. But the way things are going this season, I don't trust us at all. I do not trust us at all, to be honest. But hopefully, we can still win the competition, and at least we get a bit of silverware, and at least we tick off another one off the list. We've won 1 Carabao Cup, we've won 1 Champions League, 1 Europa League, 2 Super Cups, the Championship as well, the League 1. So hopefully, we can get the FA Cup and tick that off the list as well. And all we need is the League, and I guess the Club World Championship as well. And imagine we win those 2 in the final season. It'll be great, to be honest. Hopefully, obviously, I'd like to have won more trophies, but wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. Anyway, 17 minutes in, we've got our first highlight of the game. Here's Booth with the ball into Koric. Now here's El-Idrissi. Been a poor player this season, El-Idrissi. Really, really poor. I don't trust him at all anymore. Really don't. Here's Lawless. Does what he wants. Into Sese. There's Vinicius Tobias. Here's Samit, but Adelson wins the ball back. Gives it to Gula. Out to Magnaghi. Is he onside? He plays it to Koric. He was onside and somehow they messed that up. Wow, okay. Well, at least we started the game as a better team. But that should be 1-0 right now, shouldn't it? Should be 1-0 right now. Magnaghi having a field day so far, it seems. We're 7.5. That's nice. Anyway, here's Bruno. Been suspended. He got red card against Tottenham. Still won the game 3-1 though, which was nice. Adelson with a long ball forward. Now here's Acosta into Magnaghi. He's looking for Bruno, but not the right pass really, let's be honest. Back to Acosta now. Here's Booth. He loses it. Here's Lawless. To Sese. Now here's Vinicius. To Barnes. Back to Vinicius. Come on, boys. Please win this competition for me. Asugo, a former player. Playing for Nottingham Forest these days. Also, the manager of Forest is Alexander Mitrovic. Playing in Saudi Arabia these days, of course. Wow. Was that Lopez with a decent save in a big match? Should be 1-0 to Forest right now. Their first shot in the game and absolutely blew it there. Defensively, not been good enough this season. Okay, we kept lots of clean sheets against, teams like Leeds, Palace, Brighton. Not exactly great, is it? Teams battling relegation. But when it comes to the big boys, as I said, awful. Absolutely awful. Anyway, what on earth is Corich doing there? He almost scored, though. A great effort from Corich. Hits the bar. Scored 46 goals so far this season. I don't think he's going to get to magic 50. Unless he goes 4 in today's game. Bruno shoots. Acosta shoots. We are definitely on top in the game, but Nottingham Forest already had a big chance, which they should have scored from, so they're still obviously a dangerous team. And it's approaching half-time now. Got a free kick, though. Magnaghi to take it. Corich is there. Gets in. First goal in the game. His 47th goal of the season. Could he get to 50? Possibly. We shall see. Wow. All right. It's nice to take the lead, but as I said, the way the season's gone, I'm still not going to start celebrating just yet. That is for sure. Now look at that. A carbon copy pretty much for Forest with a free kick. Luckily for us, they head it over the bar. 5 minutes to go before half-time. Here's Magnaghi. Can we get a second goal before half-time? Well, Magnaghi gives the ball away there, doesn't he? Here's Gay to McKinley. He gives the ball away very cheaply there. Corich is offside, isn't he? He missed anyway. Wow, Corich. What are you doing, pal? Almost a cert for Corich to score there, but, oh my word. Another corner before half-time. Magnaghi to take it. Jarvis wins the header back. Now here's Magnaghi again. Having a field day today. Back to Jarvis. Now here's Mohamed. El Idrissi to Acosta. Here's Mohamed to Acosta. Magnaghi. Oh. Here's Bruno. Still got the ball here. Bruno. 2-0. Get in. Get in there, Bruno. Get in there. You know what? I know we finished 5th in the league, but... And Liverpool finished 2nd, Man United finished 3rd. I don't know who's in the Champions League final, but 2 English teams are. Liverpool weren't even in the continental competition, so if we finish 5th in the league and win the FA Cup and the UEFA Super Cup, I think that's better than finishing 2nd in the league with no trophy, isn't it? So I guess it's not all doom and gloom this season if we lift the FA Cup, but in terms of the league and the Champions League, which are the 2 most important, been very, very disappointed, especially the Champions League. Won the title last season to be knocked down in round of 16 by Porto. Shocking, absolutely shocking. We beat Man United, Arsenal, Real Madrid and RB Leipzig to win the competition last season. So that was devastating. As you can tell my voice, I'm still not over it. Is that a penalty? It looks like a penalty to me. This FA Cup could be wrapped up by half-time. Corich will step up as well for his 48th goal of the season if he scores it. Alright, this is more like it. This is more like it, boys. This is more like it. Ending the season on a high. Ending this poor season on a high. Here's Corich. He does. 3-0. I'm not going to say it's game over yet because it's not over until the fat lady sings. But 3-0 at half-time. Dominating the game. This is the performance we wanted here in the FA Cup. And Corich has 48 goals now this season. He's had a blinder of a season. Well, the rest of the team have been failing, unfortunately. But anyway, can't ask for a much better first half than that, can we? 3-goal lead at half-time. Forest have had 1 shot on target. A shot which they should have scored from, let's be honest. But 57 minutes on the clock. First highlight of the second half. Adelson with a very bizarre throw-in. Asuga don't play for us anymore, Adelson. He doesn't play for us anymore. Anyway, got the ball back. Now here is Adelson to Bruno. Back to Adelson. Best defender of the season, Adelson. The fullback's been really good, to be honest. It's just the centre-back's been let us down a bit. Maka's been good, but El Idrissi not good enough. Mohamed, hit and miss. Anyway, here's Booth. Can he make it 4? He can't because Lawless catches it very, very easily. 32 minutes to go. When is the point that we start celebrating? Such a one-sided final, this. Well, Acosta's tired. He's having a good game, though. Bruno's on a yellow card. Well, Bruno got a red card against Tottenham, so we won't take any risks with him. Bring Edson on for him. Acosta can come off as well. I'll bring Granner on for him. 27 minutes to go now. Been such a one-sided final, as I said. Forest haven't even turned up, to be honest. They've been pretty abysmal, haven't they? Embarrassing. Those poor Nottingham Forest fans travelling all this way to Wembley to not even see their team do anything in the game. Here is Booth. Can we make it 4-0? Granner! Oh, my word. Wow. He skied that, didn't he? Absolutely skied that. You know what? Jack Jarvis can come off. We bring on Shuamini. Or Shuamani, shall we say? Gula can come off as well and bring on Andre for him. 19 minutes to go. I'm not going to change anything to the tactic. Go balanced, start time wasting because there's no threat at all, is there? No threat at all. They score a goal. I'll deem them a little bit of a threat, but right now they're no threat at all. Here's Magnaghi with the ball. Can we get a 4th goal? Granner wins the ball back in the box. And he scores. It's 4-0. I'm going to say it now. We have won the FA Cup. Okay, it's a good end to the season. I'm happy with the end of the season now. As I said, the league and the Champions League, disastrous. But at least we end off the season with 2 trophies. The UEFA Super Cup and the FA Cup. Isn't the record of the final Man City 6, Watford 0? I'm going to say we might be able to match that, but I don't think so anymore. Only 2 minutes to go. So anyway, 4-0 win is good enough. It's good enough. There you have it. Get in. Get in there. The FA Cup for us, another one ticked off, as I said. Now it's just the league and the Club World Championship that is missing from our trophy cabinet. Hopefully you can win that next season. And although it's been a very, very poor season, we still end off the season as winners. We're still winning trophies every single season. We won 3 last season, did we? Was it 3? We won the Champions League last season and the UEFA Super Cup. I think we won the Carabao Cup and the Europa League the season before that. So 2 seasons every season, last 3 seasons. So that is very, very nice. Hopefully, if we win just the league title and the Club World Championship next season, another 2, I'll be happy with that. Maybe we can do better in the Champions League as well. We shall see. But the good news is, we've already won that competition, so that's good enough. But anyway, the FA Cup win for us, it wasn't much of a contest, was it? Let's be honest. Nottingham Forest were absolutely awful in that game. And we battered them, so that is very, very nice. So that is the end of the season, of course. As I keep mentioning, the league and the Champions League, nowhere near good enough. 5th in the league. Says Europa League, but as I said, due to the coefficients, we've bailed out a little bit there, and I'm pretty sure we're qualifying for the Champions League. If we don't, I'll be absolutely devastated, but I'm 99.9% sure we are. Champions League, the less we talk about that, the better. Knocked down around the 16 by Porto, but we won the UEFA Super Cup, and we won the FA Cup as well. The Carabao Cup as well was disappointing, but even in a very, very poor season for us, we still managed to win 2 trophies, so this is our very, very poor season. I wonder what our great season can be, and hopefully that great season may come next season. We shall see. In terms of the squad, well, best player of the season has to go to Coric. Look at that. 48 goals scored and 11 assists in 50 games this season. He has been absolutely brilliant, it has to be said. He fell down a little bit last season, but he got 34 goals in the league this season. Only managed to get 3rd best, though. Or was it 2nd best? Yeah, 3rd top goal scorer after Sesko and Haaland. So a big battle between them 3 to win the Golden Boot. So don't know how much more Coric would have done there, to be honest. But yeah, great season with Coric overall. Last season he only got 22 goals in the league. This time around he got 34 goals in the league. So that is great, getting him back to his best. Also, Bruno has had a quite good season. 18 goals and 14 assists from him. Magnaghi, very, very key player for us. 14 goals and 15 assists. Andre come along quite well this season as well. Mohamed did alright. Adelson was the best defender of the season. These are average rating a little bit conflicting though, because this is for every single competition. In the Champions League, we had lots of easy games, to be honest, where we battered teams. We actually look at the league average rating here. It tells more of a story, to be honest. Coric, Bruno, Magnaghi and Adelson, the only 4 that have really impressed in the league. Niamaka, probably throw him in there as well. Best centre-back of the club by a mile this season, 7.12 from him. But yeah, you look at the other average ratings here. Mohamed, only with a 7 rating, much higher because of his Champions League performances. Booth, been consistent though. Gula's been quite consistent as well. But Lopez, not good enough in the big games, as I said. Not good enough at all. Shuamini, I don't know what I think of him, to be honest. His physicals are really going to pop now. And I don't know if he's a wise move, to be honest. Acosta, not good enough as well. Jarvis, could do better. El Idrissi, disappointing. So, in terms of the players, we've got some very good players at the club. Had some very underwhelming performances this season. So, in terms of next season, well, I don't know how much money we get to spend, but not a lot, I should imagine. But I do need to strengthen the team, I think. The goalkeeper situation, well, Lopez is a number 1 still. I don't think we'll be able to afford to buy a better goalkeeper than Lopez, to be honest. Meslier is retiring end of the season, so I need to sign a new backup goalkeeper. And ideally, I want to sign a goalkeeper who can actually put pressure on Lopez. I've got 2 goalkeepers on my shortlist here. And that's Oliver Best, who plays for Hoffenheim, I believe. Yeah, Hoffenheim, he's got rid of his minimum fee release clause, though. I know he's still got it. 13.5 million minimum fee release clause, so get him for 30 million. Obviously, it's not popping up there now because officially we haven't qualified for the Champions League yet, but I'm pretty sure we will qualify. So he's an option as a backup goalkeeper. Still young, but obviously I'm not planning for the future now. Last season coming up now, so just purely looking for a backup goalkeeper. I don't really care how his development goes, but he's good enough to be our backup goalkeeper and put up a little bit of pressure on Lopez, that is for sure. And also Eddie Lihic. He's can get him for 13.5 million. That's his minimum fee release clause. He plays for Leverkusen and he's got 24 caps for Croatia, 20 years of age as well. He's another option to have as a backup goalkeeper. So Leaning more towards Lee Hitch, I probably think Best is better, but he's 13.5 million, so as a backup goalkeeper, that is quite nice. In terms of the right-back situation, well, Booth's had quite a good season, it has to be said, and also Verfali is a good player to have around as well, so quite happy with the right-backs, it has to be said. The left-back situation, well, Adelson, probably the best defender at the club. A battle between him and Maka. He's a very good player. Chino as backup. He's a decent player. Whether we can sign another left-back to replace Chino, a different question. Don't think we will be able to with the funds allowed, to be honest. Centre-backs, well, Neo Maka is a very good centre-back. Like him. Mohamed's a good one as well. El Idrissi, not good enough this season. He's a wanted man. Wanted by Inter Milan and Barcelona. He's got good value about him as well. So if they come in for an offer for him, I'll be tempted to sell him, to be honest. Also, Beagley, he's obviously not good enough, so might need a centre-back anyway. If we sell El Idrissi, might need two centre-backs. We shall see. But yeah, it's definitely an option I'm exploring, to be honest. Is looking to sell El Idrissi and trying to sign a centre-back to bring in to replace him. We shall see what happens there. In terms of the defensive midfield department, we've got Neo Maka who can play there. He's a good player there. Jarvis is he's had a decent season, nothing sensational. Shermini as well. He's getting on a bit now, 36 years of age, losing his physical. So a DM could be an option, but ideally I'd like to sign a better centre-back, move Maka into the DM and have a better centre-back with Mohamed, or sign a new DM, have Maka at the centre-back. We shall see what comes up, to be honest, but definitely an option. I think I need to sign either one or the other, a centre-back or a DM, so we shall see what happens there. Well, the Segundo Volante players, well, we've got Grana at the club, we've got Acosta as well, we've got Taram, so I'm relatively happy with that. I could do a better one, but I don't think that's our priority, to be honest. Attacking midfield, we've got Arda Güler, we've got Andre as well. Both had quite good seasons. Also, Acosta can play there very comfortably if needed. So we shall see what happens, but not too impressed with that position. On the right-hand side, well, obviously Magnaghi is an elite footballer. He's probably the best player at the club. I don't think he's quite lived up to his potential yet, even though he's had two good seasons, of course. You know, he got 10 goals and 18 assists last season, 14 goals and 15 assists this season. So for a player who's not quite gone to his full potential for us yet, he still had two quite good seasons. So hopefully in the third season for him, that will be the season. We shall see. We've also got Rocha who can play there as well, so that's all good. On the left-hand side, we've got Bruno who's playing there primarily, and Edson as well. Edson's a wanted man by Liverpool, PSG and Leipzig. With his big value, I'll be tempted to sell him, to be honest. And up front, we've got Koric and Gasco. Gasco's coming along. Gasco did really well this season, by the way. He got 24 goals in just 13 starts, Gasco. 42 total appearances, but he got 10 goals in just 4 starts in the Premier League. 12 goals in just 6 starts in the Champions League. So he's a very good striker. 18 finishing, 18 composure as well. I really do like him. But if I'm being honest, there's one player I really want to sign. He's no longer interested in a transfer because we haven't qualified for the Champions League yet. But as soon as we qualify for the Champions League, I'm sure he'll be interested again. The problem is, how do we afford him? And that player is Loris Giugnu? I don't know how to pronounce it. He's worth 228 to 250 million pounds. So that is a big stumbling block. But if we do get like 80 million pounds to spend, if we sell Edson, you know, maybe get 60, 70 million for him, that's already 150 million. Sell El Idrissi, who knows what we can do, because I'd really like to sign this guy, Giugnu. Even though Koric got 48 goals this season, he still scores goals on the left-hand side, Koric. And imagine we had Giugnu up front, Magnaghi on the right, and Koric on the left, with Bruno on the bench, Rocha on the bench, Güler about as well. That'd be one hell of an attack on it. So that is what I want to do. I want to sign Giugnu for the final season. That is who I want. 55 caps and 24 goals for Italy. He's an unbelievable striker. And you actually compare him with Koric, he's just a better player, isn't he? He's just overall a better player. So if Koric can score 48 goals for us, I wonder how many goals Giugnu can score for us as well. So he's been playing for Roma for his whole career now. I don't know why he's worth so much. I don't know why he hasn't moved on as of yet, to be honest. But hopefully next season will be the season where he can move on. He's an ideal striker to have. He's got great attributes. He's also 6'4". He's both-footed as well. So he's just a perfect striker, isn't he? And also got Gasco, who's a very good striker as well. It's back up to him. Koric on the left-hand side, as I said. So to be honest, I want to go out and sign Giugnu. That is the player I want. And then hopefully maybe sign a DM or a centre-back. But looking at his value there, it's going to be very, very tricky. And also he's a wanted man by Man City, Man United and Bayern Munich. So we shall see what happens. But yeah, obviously this season has not been great at all. But we still end the season with 2 trophies. I'm hoping we're qualifying for the Champions League. And then next season, the final season of the series, hopefully we can go out on a big high, win the league title and the Club World Championship. So that is the end of this video, guys. Please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out and it's much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.